Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm waiting for your grandma and Jody. But I want you to know that I actually printed out the reasons. It was their court papers from the appeal and
Yeah, I
why.
heard that in the last podcast.
Yeah, I definitely have it all. It makes no sense, but I do have the reasons why it was denied. I mean, none of it makes sense, but I have it. And is your mom your grandmother coming?
I just talked to her on Facebook. I assume she is.
All right. Hey, Bridget. Okay, the first one I typed in was the sufficiency of the evidence in general grounds. It's makes no sense, but that was denied, and I went ahead and posted that. Rhonda, will you text Jody and tell her to come on?
I sure will.
Now, the inefficient acceptance of counsel. That was the second one that was denied. That was denied because Heinze contends that his trial counsel, as well as his prior counsel, all were inefficient. At trial, Heinze was reported by a legal team consisting of 3 attorneys, which was Hamilton, Herbert, and Ward, all of whom were with the Capital Defense Office. And then it went on that he didn't show enough. His counsels did not show enough of not doing right by him, in other words. It's no easy showing, as law recognizes a strong presumption that counsel performed reasonably. And Heinze bears the burden of overcoming this presumption. To carry this burden, he must show that no reasonable lawyer would have done what his lawyers did or would have failed to do what his lawyers did not. To establish prejudice, Heinze must show a reasonable, probable that for counsel unprofessional errors, the results of his trial would have been different, which, let's talk about that. His trial would have been a lot different if his lawyers would have done more work on this. Am I correct?
I mean, I feel like they honestly thought they had a good defense in their head, or at least that's what they tried to portray to us. And the more I think about it, it just seems like there were so many other defenses that could have been pursued that even in a broader scope, if you thought guy was going to be convicted, that would have left the door open for somebody to come behind and actually have an appeal. Just the fact that they said the police didn't do their job, that is never should be a good defense. You should use the fact that they didn't have any evidence, the fact that the things that they said the police did wrong, they never tried to bring that out in the trial. They never tried to bring up that this evidence was missing and this was a problem. They never tried to bring up the fact that the police chief was sitting there with his detectives every day. I mean, yeah, a lot of these things are kind of like under sneaky tones, but if you're a lawyer, you want to put that vibe in the air that something is up here, something is corrupt. And I feel like if the jury was an honest jury, which, like my grandma said in the last podcast, a lot of those jurors were either handpicked or just really didn't know what they were doing. What I'm trying to say is, though, there was no outset to put out the vibe here that this guy was being railroaded, that had already been told to us by the previous lawyer, Ron, that they were going to convict him, and they knew that already. So the fact that the defense didn't try to set up any basis for guy to be defended in the future if they already felt like he was going to be convicted now is crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the right things that they should have did, but I feel like if they've been in the Capitol Defender's Office and they've been doing this a long time, the way that they defended a murder, one person murdering 8 people, there was a lot of other ways to go about it.
It also says Heinze's burden of proving his counsel was ineffectual is a heavy one, and he had failed to carry it here. A, failure to investigate. Heinze contends his trial counsel failed to adequately investigate the guilt-innocent phase of his case by allowing his zeal to spare Heinze the death penalty, overshadowing a strategy of providing his actual innocence. Number one.
That is a good statement.
Yes, well, let me go on to that because they denied that. Heinze has not pointed to anything in the record to show how Attorney Hamilton's investigation of the guilt-innocent phase was deficient. While it may be implicated that Heinze is referring to the agreement to remove jury 152 in exchange for the state's withdrawal of the death penalty, there is no evidence whatsoever to support the position that the strategy decision made by Heinze's legal team was unreasonable in any way, especially under the factual circumstances of the case. Moreover, Heinze himself agreed to it after consulting with his legal team. Now, let me turn the page here. And y'all can still hear me, right? I ain't talking to myself, am I?
No,
I can hear you.
Okay. Would you agree with me that, in generally speaking, the mission of the Capital Defender's Office is to save life? Hamilton testified that his obligation to his client is to assure each and every defense in each stage of the process, stating they're presumed innocent until they are convicted. And that's what we do. We represent indigent defendants. Okay. I'm going to go to juror. That was A. Now, since we're on this, let me skip pages because I didn't put it together. Talking about juror. What was it? What was that number?
152.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go replacement. Let me go to what the court says. Now, okay. Let me move this because I don't know why they have it all the way on page 15. But it said the court. Now, this is the court asking questions, and then I'll tell you who's doing it. The court says, have you had any conversation with any of the jurors about juror 152 conducted? Deputy, yes, sir. They stated that when he was in the jury deliberation room, he takes his notepad, sticks it up to beside his hand while he's talking to other jurors so that they can't see what he's saying. And it's got to the point to where the other jurors are irritated about him doing this. Where the other jurors are, irritated about this is because what they said was they know what he was doing. And then the court said, have you expressed any of your fellow jurors any opinions? And juror 152 says, all right, have you, no, sir. And then the court says, all right, have you expressed to any fellow juror any opinion to the believability or credibility of any witness who has testified in this case? He said no. It all comes down to, on 152, was Tyler. Did you know that?
What part are you asking me did I know?
Did you know that you scared juror 152 when you went and sat with his daughter?
No, I did not know that.
That's one of the
reasons.
reasons.
Daughter used to be close when I was in high school. We were very close.
Yeah, well, that's the reason. I'm not kidding you. This is the reason. Around dinner time, it was reported to court. Wait a minute. Let me go to the point about you sitting next to his daughter. Specifically, the foreman. Hold on. And y'all have been friends because that's the one that you. Her mother was there too, wasn't she, Tyler?
I don't know if her mother was there. I want to say that she was sitting beside her, but I can't say that for certain.
Okay, it was a written note. Hold on. Is that set down? Breaking down thing.
I remember reading that Tyler and that girl was real good friends on in an article or something.
Yes, well, at dinner, expressing an opinion about guilt, the defense, deliberated after, jury deliberation continued the following day at 9. At 1 o'clock, the foreman sent a note confirming that the jury was hung 1 through 9 of the indictment, with the breakdown 9 to 3 in those accounts. And then it's around dinner time. 152 said, around dinner time, it was reported to the court in written correspondence from 2 different jurors that they were questioning the impartiality of juror 152 due to his daughter's relationship with Heinze. After discussing this with the juror on the record, everyone presented, the foreman determined they would take a dinner break. And then it says, okay, I think this is it. Juror 152 excused from service. First alternate juror. The death penalty was withdrawn as a sentencing option, and the juries were instructed to begin their deliberation. They proceeded at 10:28 that morning. Approximately 4 hours later, the verdict came back. The juror, willingly to comply with the court's instruction, came to question early. Based on the evidence, it was said jurors 152's daughter's relationship with and acknowledge of defendant Heinze. Is that true? She knew she knew Guy and not you.
No. She had only met Guy 2 times. Me and her had a sexual relationship when I was in high school.
Okay. That was too much information, by the way, but okay.
That's okay, Tyler.
It says, let's go to here. Heinze team, wait a minute, addition, court self agreed to remove. It made juror 152 uncomfortable when you went up and sat next to his daughter.
Oh, Lord.
Now that's what it's saying.
Well, I mean, I can say though that I never met her father the whole time that we knew each other. I had never met him, not one time.
They said that they discussed this before about him knowing who you were and who Guy was. So that was denied because that juror, that's all that was because they denied. It seems they were looking for reasons to deny him. Yeah, Bridget, she ain't lying.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get page 15 back. I'm sorry. I just printed this out today. That's how quick this thing was. I just printed it out. What is this? Caesar's division 12. Okay, hold on. 10. 11, 12. Okay, I can count, guys. I can't understand how in this day and age a completely obvious person, innocent man, has been found guilty and sentenced to the crime. And why is it up to the same judge to send it? I think because, Tyler, you might know this, the judge, it didn't have to go back to Scarlett because he was the judge on the case.
Well, originally Amanda Williams was the judge on the case, but she got thrown off the bench because of all the underhanded stuff she was doing with her son, who was a lawyer.
Right. I read that.
So, but it had to go back to him. No other judge could have done the appeal.
From what I've been reading, the first appeal always goes back to the trial judge.
Okay.
So in any appeal, it will always that's the first step. It goes back to the trial judge, and then he makes his decision. And it's, from what I've been reading, it's very rare that first appeal will be granted, because it's going back to the original trial judge, who would then be looked upon as, well, what did you do wrong then? Because you're accepting that something happened wrong in your trial, basically. So it's very, very common that first appeal will be denied.
Okay, and then this is still with juror 152. The court asked, all right, Mr. Heinze, have you had the opportunity to speak with your team about this agreement? Now, this is to replace the death penalty by getting rid of 152. You know does everybody understand what I just said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Tyler. I'm glad you do. And Mr.
I don't understand court records.
Mr. Heinze said, yes, Your Honor. The court. And do you need more time with them, or are you ready for me to ask you whether or not if that is your agreement? The court. Heinze says, I'm fine. Okay. The court says, okay. And you agree with it. Do you have any questions about this? And God, no. So then it says, Juror 152 was excused from services and replaced with the first alternate juror. The death penalty was withdrawn as a sentencing option, and the jurors were instructed. Deliberate. I'm sorry. I thought somebody was calling in. Online. Okay. However, based on the evidence, particularly the fact of jurors 152's daughter being in a relationship. See, this is what I'm talking about, Tyler. It says the evidence. It says juror 152 willingness to comply with the court's instruction came into question early. However, based on the evidence before at this time, particularly the fact that jurors 152's daughter relationship with and acknowledge of defendant Heinze haven't been fully disclosed, but she didn't have a relationship with him, correct?
I had never met him.
Your brother?
No, my brother and Micah, they only met each other twice. My brother never met her father either.
But what it's saying in this is that they didn't acknowledge that 152's daughter was in a relationship with defendant Heinze. It was not fully disclosed.
There was no relationship there. I mean, I don't understand what they're trying to say.
So
are they saying the relationship that I had with her was my brother's relationship?
Well, no, the way that read, it's saying, let me go back and read it word for word. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. It said, indeed, juror. Yes. Jody, did you say something?
Yes.
No, not me.
They knew about it. Had Johnson been there, because during their questioning him in jury selection, he told them he had spent about an hour or so consoling his daughter because she knew Tyler, was friends with Tyler, and knew Guy.
Okay, but listen to this, Miss Jean. Listen to what this is saying in the court record. It said, indeed, jurors 152 impartiality, and willingness to comply with the court's instruction came into question early on in the proceeding. However, based on the evidence before at this time, particularly the fact that jurors 152 daughters' relationship with the knowledge of defendant Heinze having been fully disclosed. So is that saying that his daughter had a relationship with Guy, right?
I mean, that's what that sounds like. What you're reading, yeah, it sounds like that's what they're saying.
But it was you, not Guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got that messed up.
And then it says 152, in addition to the court finds Heinze himself agreed to remove juror 152 in exchange for the death penalty. He invited the error he now complains of. Error that is invited by the defendant affirmatively waived for purpose of appeal. Affirmative waiver is opposed to mere forfeit by failing to object, prevents reversal. So he was denied on that. Then it goes, I mean, there is all his counts are here. Every one of them. Use of the Colorado method. Did y'all know about that?
I'm not sure what that is.
I guess it's another thing they were.
Yes, that was during the hearings before the trial.
That's called a Colorado method?
Right. The attorneys, the way they went about the case, I'll have to think about that to try to remember his exact wording.
Okay, because it says Attorney Hamilton testified that the so-called Colorado method is merely a guide, which he used as such to put in a place proper voir dire, questioning of the jury panel. Hamilton noted that the questions his team asked were outside the Colorado method. I don't know what I gotta find out what that is. I don't know what the Colorado method is.
Hamilton didn't do the voir dire, or ever how you pronounce it. Jerry and April. Hamilton was not there.
Okay, now the next one was claims related to the conditions of trial cancel file. And it said paragraph 1 through 15 of Heinz's second amended motion of the new trial, he assessed he was deprived of his right to effective assistance of counsel due to process because trial counsel dumped 41 bankers. What does that mean? Files. Oh, he dropped. Oh, wow. So Guy's lawyer dumped 41 bankers' boxes of files and transcripts and doesn't contact us. Did that happen?
That was something that in the hearing they had at the appeal hearing, his appeal attorney, Alan, brought out that the boxes were just dumped to them and everything was all messed up. He had to hire somebody to try to go through the stuff and organize it. So the defense, Hamilton and them just dumped all the boxes on them.
So they didn't have time to go through them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if they went through all of them, no, because he focused on juror 152 being thrown out and said that was against the law because once that juror was picked as a juror, he had the right to his opinion, and they could not take that away from him. So I don't know if he went through it all or not.
Okay, now it says length of time awaiting trial. This is letter F. Heinze argued he was denied effective assistance of counseling and due process because he waited 5.5 years to go to trial. The court disagrees. The record reflects Heinze was initially indicted on murder charges involved in this case on September 14th, 2009. That indicates was no process in its entirety due to a prudential effect in the grand jury, and Heinze was re-indicted on the same charges May 23rd, 2012. The matter was tried by jury in October 2013. He demanded, the demand for a speedy trial was filed. Heinze was incarcerated for the vast majority of the time he was awaiting trial. At most, there was a 4-year delay between Heinze's initial arrest and the trial. Okay, so 5.5 years, 4 years, 5.5 years. It doesn't matter. It should not have taken long. That's my opinion, people.
It should not, but I think Scarlett held up deliberately the transcript.
Oh, really? Okay. It says Heinze.
There was something about when the transcript was released too, that they had the transcript for a long time, but they wasn't going to turn it over.
Well, Cindy, isn't the transcript evidence now?
Yeah, but it's still under lock and key unless you pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're asking a lot of money for that. The Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution guaranteed that in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy trial. This is right is enshrined in the Georgia Constitution and is coexistent with the federal guarantee made applicable to states by virtue of the 14th Amendment of the United States. That's a lot of legal stuff. Hold on.
Yeah.
The guy, that was denied because it was, what is that? 35. Okay. That it was from the time he was arrested the second time. And the second time he was arrested was the day he was let out. Is that correct?
That is correct. Within an hour or at least an hour. Yeah. A very short period of time.
And he never exerted his right to a speedy trial. So because he didn't take the speedy trial, that's why it took 5.5 years to get him into court. So they're saying it was Guy's fault. He didn't take it, so it's denied. That's what it's saying.
Guy was 22 years old.
Exactly.
They led around like a puppet. They convinced him of anything they wanted to do. Guy did not know anything about the legal system, just like most people who've not been dealing with them before. So he thought the attorneys were doing him the way they should. But you have several attorneys that were taken off. Why, I cannot absolutely tell you. I think Glenn County was going to let him be moved to another jail so they could kill him in that jail and they would not be to blame, which I went into orbit and went down there. Anyway, he was not moved. Then they got another attorney. They just wanted this case to go away. Number one, his mom and daddy was dead, and he was a drug addict, and they wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to look good. They thought nobody else cared nothing about him. They never expected anybody to be interested in helping Guy. But Guy was a kid. They just did whatever they wanted to do.
Exactly. Now it says obstruction of justice, tainted evidence. In paragraph 7 and 9 of Heinze's second amended motion, he contends that the police chief, Matthew During, and Detective Michael Owens somehow denied him access to evidence in this case. It appears Heinze is trying to argue that they both somehow obstructed justice as a result of their professional negligence in investigating the case. The court finds these contentions arise and to no more vague statements surrounded by the argument in any citation. Moreover, the defense does not identify evidence, if any, would have resulted in the investigation was handled any different. In order for the defendant to rely on error relative to evidence, necessity requires at the very least that he show the court what the evidence is, and Heinze has done neither.
The evidence was the nunchucks they got rid of. Kids,
yes.
The evidence was the interview they lost or hid deliberately. They didn't lose anything. They got rid of it.
So they're saying that because there's no proof of this, that was denied. But there was proof. The lady was there.
And he did everything but call her a liar to her face on the witness stand.
There was a recorded phone call where Mike Owens was on the phone going to receive the nunchucks, saying that he was going to send somebody out there. They have the tape of that.
Yes,
but that was missing now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gone.
Is it gone, Tyler?
I thought that they said they had the tape. I just thought they said when they got out there, they don't know who they sent to get the nunchucks.
They had
but the lady of the trailer park knows she gave it to Mike Owens, correct? Or am I wrong?
No, she didn't say she gave it to Mike Owens. The proof is she talked to Mike Owens on the phone, and he was going to send somebody. She did not remember the name of the person who picked it up. They gave her a card, and she put the card in the file of the trailer park. But they were not allowed to look in the trailer park files.
Okay, so it wasn't Owens that collected the nunchucks.
Not according to what they said. He was sending somebody.
Okay, well, that I thought. Why didn't they call Owens to the stand?
They did call him to the stand, and then he got up there, and when they was asking him questions about why he was fired from the police department, all he could say was medical reasons. And a lot of the questions they were asking him, the prosecutor objected, and he ended up not having to answer, I believe, 2 or 3 of the questions that was asked to him. And one of the biggest things about that is I'll never forget that day when we left the courthouse. Me and my grandma were sitting in her truck, and she was on the phone with Pastor Black from North Carolina. And I said, Grandma, look. And we looked over, and Mike Owens was standing by his Ford F-350 crying. Now, this is like a 300-pound man. He was standing there crying. And one of the deputies was rubbing his shoulder, and she was saying, "It'll be all right, Mike. It'll be all right, Mike." Why would that grown man be standing out there beside his truck crying?
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
The person
That really
who
stuck with
was
me. Like,
was one of the investigators in this case, Marissa Tyndall.
Say it again, Miss Jean. I didn't hear you.
I said that lady that was comforting him was Marissa Tyndale. She was one of the investigators. All of them was in the courtroom just about every day. Other judges was in the courtroom every day. I was told before Guy ever went to trial by Newell Hamilton that every judge and lawyer in that county said during the trial before it was even over, and every time they had a recess, John B. Johnson packed up his pants and went straight to the press. And I heard him say, he will be convicted. And that was before the trial was even over. So they had to know that it was rigged.
And you said that he was in there every day, and that was not normal.
That is what I was told. He was there every day.
Okay, I'm trying. We're talking about. Hold on, I'm trying to look for something. Do you have anything to add, anyone? While I'm going through, I'm looking for something that I printed out. If anyone has something to say, you can say something.
yeah, the one of the reporters, he was a tall, light-skinned black dude. I believe he worked for Fox 8. He was the guy who said that the most days Matt Doring had ever sat through a murder trial was the first 2 days.
Really? But he was there every day, correct?
Yeah, he was there all 7 days of the trial.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find something because it has to do with, and I found it. Of course I did. I happen to be a snooper, as everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
And I went on making everyone said they were told properly, probably Tyler. What? Making sure everyone said what they were told, probably Tyler. I went to his
lap dogs was he was in there to control his lap dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also went to Mike's page, just so you know, before he passed, because he's no longer here. So everyone on his page talked about the skeletons that are in Glenn County. How they were, sketchy people. Someone said someone outside of Glenn County needs to investigate that place. The local FBI can't do it. Can't do it right. If any at all get the notion, you need to start getting in touch with anyone to look inside Glenn County. And then it goes on to him being brokenhearted. He said that he has these skeletons. He was treated like crap when he had to hang up his badge. And that karma is going to come back. And he has to live with this. Didn't say anything about the case or anything. But if you go to look on it, this was 5-6 years ago when he put this on here. It says everyone involved will have their karma.
This is true. The Bible tells you reap what you sow, more than you sow, later than you sow. And I don't know, but I know several of those people that was involved in this trial is dead.
Yeah, a lot of them. It's a bitch, boy. It came back and got. Oh, excuse my French, Miss Jean. Sorry. Yes. It came back and got him.
But one thing now, Mike Owens was I was told by an investigator that Mike Owens was a police officer in this department for 20 years.
Yes.
When he died, one police officer went to his funeral.
Exactly. I have that right here. I do. And there's a woman, I'm trying to find the name of that book, because I actually bought this book and read it. There's a lady,
Stories? The St. Simon stories?
No, this is from a police officer who wrote a book about the department, about the people in it. And I have the book downstairs. I'm going to have to. She actually. Who?
Kathy Barnaday.
Isn't that right up? Yep.
That's her. See that. So did you get it off of Amazon?
Yes, I did. It's called period GS do fly. Pigs do fly. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know what happened, but everything in that book is just like what's going on in that, the detectives and the police. Yes.
I have heard that she said some things, excuse me, she had said about the things that Matt Doran did to Guy, but I didn't know she had written a book, so I'm glad you said that so I can get that. But yes, there is a book, St. Simon's Island's Big Nets, and the person who wrote that has another name. I forgot what to call it. But anyway, there's a story in there that is about Guy's case.
Well, she wrote this book, and I'm telling you, what she went through, what all the officers went through, with them being in charge, it's amazing.
Well, I was told that several things Matt Doran did during was not right. There were several people who went to attorneys to try to sue the department, and they were told they had a case, but nobody in the state of Georgia, unless it was in Atlanta, would take their case because Matt Doran ran a mafia police department. You either went along with him, you didn't have a job, or you were set up some way. And there's an officer that they had that they accused of rape, and this happened to be somebody that I knew and was pretty good friends with. And he just told me one day he went through the whole story. I met him up in uptown somewhere, and he went through the whole story. And I have since, I wondered, I said, why is he telling me all this? I don't have nothing to do with it. There's nothing I can do about it. But I have wondered since, is this because he did not go along with Matt Doran? Was he set up? And I cannot help but to go in these prisons when I go to see Guy, and I look around at these guys in there, and I wonder how many people John B. Johnson has sent there because he hid evidence, just because he wanted a case.
Well, if you go and you get that book, it's a short book, and it was supposed to have different chapters. Like this was the first book, and then she was supposed to continue the book, and it's just the one book. There's no more. She did not finish the book.
And it's probably because of something that happened because she wrote the book.
Exactly. Because not another one has come out. And if you go, after you read the book, at the end of the book, there is a group that you go on. And there is no more books coming, and it was left.
I know somebody that's a good friends with her. I will question them and see if they know anything about any of the book and see if they know what happened.
It's a very interesting book. I'm not kidding you. It's a very interesting book, and it shows the corruption in there.
Well, we all know that.
Yeah. Where can we get the book from? I'm in the UK.
I've just looked. It's on Amazon. It's £4.3p on Amazon in the UK. So I've just managed to find it.
Is it Gail Stevens? Yes, it's Gail Stevens.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, PIGS. Pigs do fly. Pride, integrity, guts. And yeah, you can order it off of Amazon. It says. For the description, it says Susie is a girl that was just trying to live out her dream of being a cop. She wanted to be like her dad. She was raised to treat people right and felt that she should be also. That isn't the way it was everywhere, she found out, but she didn't give up. 82 pages long.
It's what?
82 pages.
Yes, and then at the very end, it stops. You know, it's like you're waiting for the next book to come and in this group that she had with it, people have been saying, where's the next book? When is your next book? You know, you left us hanging. And it does leave you hanging because you don't know what happened. It's like it's a dead stop in this book. So you don't know if anything else has happened. And if you look in Amazon, book 2 is not out. There is not a book 2.
Yes, I'm sure she was threatened.
Well, it's a very interesting book. You all will enjoy it. The book was like... Now, the names aren't the same, but when you go to read the book, you can tell who she's talking about by Guy's case.
Yeah.
I'll once the podcast is finished, I'll put a link to the book on the Facebook group so that anyone that wants to order it, they can do it quickly through the link.
And you can get it digitally too.
Fine. Yeah, you can download it on the Kindle as well. So I'll put the link on the Facebook group so that anyone that wants it, they can find it easily.
Is there anyone have any more? She was threatened, I'm sure. After you read this book, Ducky, you will understand how, yeah, I'm pretty sure she was threatened. Because she told everything. Everything. How many times I'm not going to tell you about this book, but y'all need to get this book. Yes, you can get it on Kindle. That's how I got it. I downloaded it to my Kindle. I mean, isn't there something anyone can do when someone threatens or hides stuff before? Yeah.
You can see how much good it did us.
Yeah.
Those nunchucks would have never have been mentioned had she not asked Johnson about it in front of somebody, so he had no choice but to address it, and that was during the jury selection. It had been kept quiet until then. The defense knew nothing about the nunchucks.
You can go to internal investigations, but they really are sticking to their own. It was told in Mike Owen's Facebook that the FBI in the area of Georgia don't even bother calling them because they won't look into it. So I don't know who you call to. I don't know who you call. I guess State Department.
I was wondering about writing the state attorney general, but then Perdue is the governor, and I'm sure that he is friends with that group of people down there, as most governors have been. Spend time on the island and the golf course and all this stuff down there. So I think Atlanta is kind of connected with them now. I don't know if the one that came after Matt Doran was any more honest or not, but Matt Doran was absolutely dishonest, underhanded, manipulative, and a criminal himself. It is a shame that you have to be more afraid of the law enforcement than you do the criminals.
I agree. I agree there. Dude, this is crazy. Can anyone talk to the FBI? Because I have heard that people can call them. Bridget, if you call the FBI in the Georgia area, now this was put on Mike Owen's Facebook by cops that said they won't do anything in that area. So I don't know if you can go over and go to the state's attorney general, anywhere. Y'all can see that they do not. Is there anything we can do to help from the UK? We will. Miss Jean, is there anything they can do?
I can't think of anything unless we write letters to them, and there again, it would be interesting to see if to the FBI to see what they tell her if she wrote to them.
I think that, but state's attorney is who I would go to, because the cops in this say that if the FBI cannot do it right, do not even worry about contacting them. And this is from that Kathy girl who wrote the book. So if the FBI won't do it, then I don't know who you go to ahead of the FBI, unless it is state's attorney.
Offered to help them investigate this case, but they refused the GBI's help. And they also luminol the car that guy was driving, and there was no blood in it. So, like Knox said, there was no evidence that put him at that crime scene. And I honestly believe that blood on the shorts that the jury couldn't get over was planted by the police.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Jody, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with what Miss Jean said about the blood on the shorts being planted. I think that as well. And
you also have to think everyone was still alive at 3:45 and 3:48 a.m. So that means guy went in there, killed all these people, left, went somewhere, took a shower, got back in the car, which has no blood in it, drove to St. Simon Island, met up with Tyler, all in less. We got there at what time, Tyler?
It was probably like 6:30, 6:15.
Okay, 6 o'clock. So from 3:48 until, which is almost 4 o'clock, to 6 something, and it takes what, 20 minutes, half an hour to get to St. Helens, right?
He was seen on the security camera though, wasn't he? Like at 5 something when he went to use the phone. So it would have been before 6 o'clock.
Okay, so from, let's say,
he actually got there, yeah.
3:45 a.m. to 5 something, seen on video in St. Simon Island. Where did he take the shower at? He didn't drive anywhere with blood on him. Yes, Bridget, 5:30 a.m. he was seen on camera.
It was at the Parker's store, wasn't it? The camera that he was seen on.
I think it's the Parker's. That's
yeah,
the one.
Yeah, that Parker's.
Yeah.
Was that when he went? That was when he went to phone you, wasn't it, Tyler? I think to let him into the room.
Yeah, because he came and knocked on the door and nobody answered, so he went to call us.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I can't find anything that says an exact time that he was seen on the camera. It just says 5-ish. Yeah.
Okay, now, Tyler, what time?
It says 5 or 5:30 a.m. on August 29th of 2009. Tyler ended up at Huddle House at St. Simon's Island to eat breakfast. Defendant then dropped his brother back at motel at St. Simon's. That was at 5 to 5:30.
Okay, Tyler, how far is it from the trailer to where you were?
About 11 miles.
11 miles. So it would have taken him, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, you got to go all the way across the causeway, off the island, and then down 17, like 7 miles to get there.
Okay, so from 3:45, or let's go 3:48. He went from beating and killing someone to not driving the car to take a shower. So he had to take a shower around there somewhere. And Knox says at least an hour with a scrub brush. So that would put it 4:30, 5 o'clock. And he hadn't even left to go to Simon's Island. Yes, Bridget, I have that in the files in Guy's group. Everything that was said from Knox is in there.
Cindy,
and the fact that
are we going to put these documents in the group after we send Miss Jean hers?
Yes, I'm going to copy them, and well, I think I'm just going to take pictures of these.
Okay.
Is Mike Owen's Facebook still up? I can't find it.
Yes, it is. I'll tell you what the picture is. Hold on, Tyler.
I seen the picture on that post. I seen that one where that girl shared the page, but I can't find the link to it. I'm trying to search it.
Yeah, hold on.
Should be able to add you to the group, possibly.
What group?
The Facebook group. Is that what you mean, Tyler? The Facebook group?
No, I'm looking on, like, you know, where you just go search friends. I'm looking for Michael Owens, but I can't find it.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking now. It was Michael Owens. Michael. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, Tyler, I'm going to go ahead and copy this and send you his, let me go. I'll send you the link to his. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to his Facebook right now. And this is where you have to scroll all the way down. But if you're on your computer, if you go up to the timeline, put in 2015. And everything comes up back then in 2015.
Would you send it to me also?
I sure will. But you have to really look. I'm telling you. They really went after them, these cops there. Hold on, there's Tyler, that's sent to you. And then Miss Jean, let me send it to you. There you go. It's sent to both of you. You're welcome. But it's a lot easier. It would take longer than 10 minutes. I live 20 minutes from the gym on the island, from where I live in Brunswick. And I've driven out to New Hope to see how long it would take. So how long would it take you, Bridget? And what time of day did you go? And traffic on it's about 35 minutes. Okay, so you drive it for 35 minutes. With lights. Yeah, I thought about the traffic lights. I mean, you know, I don't know what to do with trying to figure out the lights because I don't know the traffic area where that is. But we tried to do a whole thing on his timeline of where he went the night before. And we don't know where the traffic lights are or anything like that. So it's hard to put time on what Guy didn't know. When he did his timeline, he doesn't have times on there. So we were trying to figure out how to go from New Hope to every place he went, how long it would actually take.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we could not. I mean, the lights, we don't know where lights are.
We did it the best we could, but yeah.
Yes, we did. It was like...
It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. that with the time frame, it's just impossible.
There's no way he could leave at 4:30 or 5 and get there and be on camera. So he would have to have left at what, Bridget? There's no way he could leave at 4:30, 5 to get there on the camera. Yeah, because without taking a shower. That's right, because he went to the Best Western knocking on the door and they wouldn't let him in, right, Tyler?
Yeah, nobody knew who was knocking on the door. We thought it was like somebody who was mad about the party we had, so we didn't answer the door.
And then he went to Parker's, told you to let him in, and then he went back. Yeah, Bridget, I don't understand it. Because the last time anyone was alive was 3:45 to 3:48. So whatever happened after that.
Whoever did it took a shower in that other bathroom. I believe that's where the blood came from, or else washed off their hands or their weapon or whatever, because that's why they didn't test that blood.
And then I'm very confused about something also. Let me pull the court record back out. It said, it didn't say anything because I can't find what I did with all them court papers. It said that Joe was found on his face, like on his stomach, like he had moved. Like he's eaten right there.
I think Knox brought out something about that, but something like Chrissy trying to get away.
See, I had Knox, yes. Yes, she tried to go out the window. But if you, oh, here it is. Sorry. In the court records that I printed off today, it said Joe. Hold on, the photograph. Let me find where Joe was. It says Joe was lying face down where he slept, beaten to death about the head. But Knox states that, hold on, let me get Knox. Here it is. Knox says that, let me find Joe. Chrissy, okay. Her boyfriend, Joe West, and her younger sister had changed positions and moved around the room in which they were killed. So how was Joe West in the court paper states that he was face down like he was sleeping? Anybody?
They put it to protect whatever they wanted it to.
Because Knox says Chrissy, Michelle, and Joe moved around the room. And the paper says that's wrong. That Joe was found lying down where he slept. Face down where he slept.
I think Guy was the only one that did not move.
Right.
And he probably was the first one killed, and it caught him unaware, and they just bashed his head in and then continued to beat. But
right.
I think he said he was the only one that didn't move.
Exactly. And in this court paper, it states Joe was found lying face down where he slept. And that's not true, because Knox said him, Chrissy, and Michelle moved around the room. Chrissy was found in the same back bedroom against the wall.
Yeah, and it was 4 of them in that bedroom, and the bedroom was very tiny, like a very small bedroom. Like, you go in there and attack one person, it would have had to have been 2 to 3 people attacking them all at the same time, because Knox stated that definitely Chrissy and Michelle fought back from their wounds. You could tell they were fighting back. So both of them weren't fighting just one person, and then Joe, being 280 pounds, sleeping in the same room, not fighting anybody too.
Well, the way it says here, he was asleep. That's what it says. He was asleep.
I mean, I just don't believe that, because they said Junior put up the biggest fight, and he was asleep on the couch, and he was found in the kitchen. So he fought from the living room to the kitchen, and that noise alone would have woke everybody in the trailer up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, according to that, Senior was the first one that was killed because the guy was fighting him because he wanted the Darvasette.
I'm just thinking back to the documentary, going back to Joe and what position he was in. I'm sure that when they show like the crime scene, that Joe's half on and half off the bed on his front, but I'm sure like his legs are off the bed, like he's almost sort of hanging on the bed. I'm sure. I have to go back and have a look, but
figured out how
I agree. Probably they knew where everyone slept and where every door and every window was.
Did she leave?
no, I'm here. Is that Cindy that's breaking up?
Yeah, that's Cindy.
Yeah.
Somebody's breaking up.
Yeah, it's Cindy.
Breaking up.
We can't hear you, Cindy.
You can't hear me?
And another.
Yep, can hear you now.
Michael was still alive, and common sense would tell you if Guy killed him, he would have killed Michael before he ever called.
Yeah.
He would have left Michael.
You can hear him on the 911 call, can't you, to shouting for them to hurry because Michael's still alive.
Right.
Well, they
exactly
sitting there. Hello.
Cindy, we can't hear you.
Oh, Jesus, God. Hello.
Yeah,
I'm
can
here.
hear that?
Hear you.
Can we hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Joe. Hold on. Joe hear Chris being beaten. He slept right through it.
No, he didn't. You would almost, if the room was that tiny, you would almost have to hit somebody else while you were hitting one with 4 people in there. And the child was beat also.
Yeah, and Michelle had 42 wounds on her hands. Defensive, broken bones and everything.
Right.
And you're doing all of that and coming out of it with not a mark on you.
Yeah.
No scratches, bruises, anything like that. You did all that and managed to keep yourself from getting hit.
Does anyone want to ask any questions? Call in. I'm looking for something.
I appreciate everybody that's supporting Guy.
Cindy, I posted the New Hope directions. The Best Western. That's okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. What? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Jean, what were you going to say?
I said, I appreciate everybody who's supporting Guy.
You bet. That's what we're here for.
This isn't over. This isn't over.
No.
We have a long way to go, but this isn't over. We have to wait for 30 days for the next appeal. And this one is 30 days. You have to file the appeal in 30 days, which I'm sure his lawyer is doing that.
I'm sure he is, but God bless him. He told me that he would not discuss that with me. He discussed his client's business with his client.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good, though.
Well, it is, but I mean, he could have been a little nicer.
Yeah, you know how some lawyers are.
But, you know, I've been accused of not being nice myself, and my tact is not the best.
No way, Miss Jean. No way, Miss Jean. No way.
Hey, I tell it like it is.
Yes, you do. That's what I like about you.
Well,
I want to say that me and my grandma, we have a plan to put a paper together with all the facts that we have in order and try to find things that show any improprieties of the people that were involved in this investigation, this conviction. And we want to put this paper together well. We'll probably need some of you guys' help. And when we feel like we have something that's solid, send it to every legal eye that we can get to read it. I know a lot of papers will just end up on people's desk and will never get open, but as many people as we can get to read about this, not just in Georgia, but all around, and not just the people who support us just from the documentary, but people that have thoroughly looked through these things and see that something isn't right here. And I'm hoping that we can get into the ears or the eyes or the hearts of someone who has legal knowledge or has connections with somebody that could help us go in the right direction of how to not only get Glenn County investigated, but how we can put our Supreme Court appeal in the right way, that it shows that we're not just trying to do this because this is our family member behind bars. We're trying to do this because this is another man wrongfully convicted in the United States whose life is going to go to waste.
Tyler, whatever you all need.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll help.
We're there. Whatever you need. You need us to do research, we'll do research. You need us to write papers, we'll write papers. You need me to sell Rhonda and Jody, I'll sell them. I will do this.
Now.
Well, who are you selling me to?
Looking on this Mike Owens Facebook, I know it's probably going to ruffle some feathers, but I think I'm going to try to message his son and his daughter and bring this up and see their reaction and see if they have anything that they could say about this, whether negative or positive.
Okay. You can also try to find Jeff Wentworth. If you're writing this down, Jeff Wentworth.
Who is he?
He is another cop who said, "Hey Matt, wake the blank up." So you know, he's not happy. He was one, and it says, "Anybody want to ask me my thoughts on Matt? I'll start with this shit for brains." He's a cop, so you might want to write his name down. He was in there with Mike Owens.
Yeah, and on Mike Owens' page.
He should be on Mike Owens' page.
Well, I was reading a lot of the comments, and a bunch of the people on there made statements about Matt Doring involving them, where he lied to them, and they called him out about it, and he backpedaled. And they also said somebody, I believe Michael Covington or somebody Covington was someone that Mike Owens said on there, double-crossed him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You need to study his Facebook, because I actually sent messages out. I actually sent messages when I started Guy's group I sent messages to everyone in this comments, and I haven't heard back from none of them.
Obviously, I feel like, A, with Mike Owens crying at the trial, he knew that he had done something wrong. And B, with him talking about skeletons in his closet and these other police officers being vipers, his family has some knowledge of all of this stuff since he was retired from the police force. And he says in that one comment, if anybody messages me, I'll tell it all.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why if you go in there and you talk to, especially Jeff Wentworth, he has it out for Matt. I think if you go on there and start doing that, maybe they'll talk to you, Tyler. Tell them who you are.
The worst thing anybody can do is say no.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be checked out because there's a lot of cops on his page that are just ready to spill their beans on the police department there. My ex, oldest kid's dad, is journalist over here. I'm sorry.
I put a post on the Facebook page of Glenn County, and they were not happy with it.
Imagine that.
No way, Gene, not you. You weren't being bad.
I wasn't. I was being honest.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
Provide the picture information too with the papers.
What?
Provide the picture information too with the papers, Bridget says.
I don't know where's she? I don't know.
I think she's talking about Owen's Facebook.
Oh, Owen's Facebook?
I think so.
Hold on. Paste. Nope, this isn't it. Okay, I am going to post the link for everybody that wants these transcripts from the court. It's 32 pages. All you got to do is to a PDF and then print it out. You print them out. There's 32 pages. And you will have the same thing. I mean, scan copies of Michael Knox document and then scan copies of Michael Knox document. His everything Michael Knox said is in the group under files. His article is in the group under files, but I will go ahead, and there's a lot of writing on it because I've been writing on it for a while now, but I'll do my best to give you a good copy of it to send like Tyler was trying to send to judges for his appeal. Oh, Tyler, you have what Knox said, right? If not, it's in the file in the group. What Knox's report was.
Yeah, I don't have any papers of that myself.
Well, if you go into the files in the group, it's right in there. Everything that he stated. And then I'll send you this too. How can I get the district attorney's name and address and any other names about and addresses, please? Who is the district attorney in Georgia? Does anybody know?
John B. Johnson was the state district attorney. He was semi-retired. Supposedly he was with Jackie Johnson, who was a new district attorney in Glenn County. Jackie Johnson, I forget her initial, is the actual Glenn County district attorney. John B. Johnson worked in the whole district. That would be Glenn, McIntosh, Charlton, Brantley, Pierce, and I think that's it.
Okay.
Jody, if you have that, can you put that in the room? I have to hold my cord. I'm sorry. I'm holding a cord to my microphone so my microphone will work.
Uh-oh. Okay. So we're going to send Miss Jean her papers, and then you're going to put them in the group.
I just posted the link here.
Okay. Okay, that's good enough.
But I'll send Miss Jean and Tyler a copy.
Yeah, because Miss Jean lives out in the country, and sometimes her computer don't work. I did catch that, Miss Jean.
Yeah, you know, we have to worry about B.
We got to worry about Miss
Yes,
Jean.
that's right. We're the Golden Girls. Tyler, I was going to call you one night. Did you know that?
No,
I couldn't get your grandmother to answer her phone, and she worried me. I was ready to send out the search party.
I want you guys to listen to this, though. This is what I just typed to Jeff Wentworth. I haven't seen it yet. This is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I said, Mr. Wentworth, I know you don't know me, but may know of me. My brother Guy Heinze just got his request for a retrial denied. As I'm sure you know, he was only convicted because of Matt Doring and his underhanded ways and mafia-style control of the police department. I'm reaching out to you because I'm putting a paper together to try and get someone who has useful information on the Glenn County Police Department to help. I promise I won't release any names. I just need different viewpoints on several things the Glenn County Police Department did corruptly years leading up to my brother's conviction in 2013 and until Matt Doring's death.
That sounds good.
Very well said.
Sounds brilliant.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Really well worded.
Right.
Now,
I sent it.
That's to Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Have you sent that now? Is that
Yeah, I
sent?
sent it.
And Tyler,
Brilliant.
anything you guys need, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll sell Jody and Rhonda. We'll raise money and yeah, we'll sell them too. I'm too old to sell.
The lady who wrote the book,
Jody,
Pigs Fly, has anybody tried to find her on Facebook? Is she still alive?
Oh, she's still around. And I've tried to send her a message, and I think it was just she's being too harassed because she hasn't responded. There was her other name that the book is under. I tried that name, and I also tried her name, Sandy, or not Sandy. Yeah, no, Kathy on Facebook, and I got no response. All
Miss Jean said that she knows somebody that knows her, though, didn't she? So she's gonna find out.
Who friends with Kathy Barnadoe.
Yes, Barnadoe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that who you?
Yeah, I tried getting in touch. My sister knows her. My sister knows. Your sister knows Kathy? Ducky?
She's alive. That's her, Kathy Barnadoe. Mm-hmm.
My name, Mama Cindy knows Kathy, yes. Mama, Cindy knows Kathy, yes. Mama Cindy, who is...
That's Jean, I think.
Yeah, that is my daughter, and her sister, she says, knows Kathy. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
find out when they're coming out with the other book.
Don't be calling me Mean Jean.
Oh, no way Miss Jean is mean. Now, come on, she's an angel.
That's what I've been trying to convince
I believe you, Miss Jean. If you told me you was an angel, I believe it. I told you she did. I call BS. I think he meant Miss Jean.
Oh.
No, she meant exactly that.
And she can be mean. I cannot believe Miss Jean mean. Nah. Yeah, not Miss Jean.
And to think I have improved and chilled out in my old age.
Well, see, that's it. Does anyone have any questions? Any more questions?
Is anybody in this group attorneys?
I played one on television.
Oh, mercy. I mean a real one.
Okay. I played one on Facebook too. Does that count?
I don't think so, but anyway, we'll go with it. You can give us the lead.
I'm a psych nurse. I got some people I need you to talk to, Bridget. I'll get back with you.
I'm just a researcher.
Well, if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm going to let them go and get off so I can stop holding this cord. If just want Jean and Tyler to know that we will never give up. Oh, no, we're not giving up. Oh, wait,
No,
wait,
we're
excuse me. I do. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Sini, S-I-N-I, if you were in this room, please let me know.
She is S-I-N-I.
Yes.
She was in the first one.
Okay.
Yep, she's here.
Okay. Yes. Hey. Yes. If you can tell us what we can do any different than what we're doing, I would appreciate it. Because I have turned every rock, every corner, every stone. And I think for not being able to get transcripts and stuff like that, I think we've done a pretty good job with this. What do you think?
I think you've done a great job. You found out information that I didn't know. Of course, I'm not as good at computers as you
We had to start from scratch.
Yeah, actually.
Without those transcripts.
Yeah, this court papers we have is what I printed out today. Everything else is $35K. But if anybody has any ideas what we can do to fight harder for Guy, please let us know.
Can I just say, if everyone, can you share the podcast? Come and follow on Instagram, get other people following so that his name's out there. So there's more and more people. I mean, today I think there's been something like 30 new people joined the Facebook group, which is absolutely crazy. So keep sharing it, share this podcast, share the first podcast, come to Instagram. Just share. The more people that know Guy's story, then the better.
Yes, and don't forget the tip line, 971-512-8265. The email is wearetheirvoices@yahoo.com.
Amen to that. Miss Jean, do you have anything to say?
I don't think so right at this point, other than I am very appreciative. And if anybody wants to talk to me, that's fine. I am on Facebook and mine is public. Anybody can see it, I suppose.
Yes, but Miss Jean, you don't have to add everybody as a friend.
Until I see that they're either crazy, dishonest, lied to me, or something along those lines.
No, Miss Jean, I have to wait to block people from Guy's group because they're saying stuff that is wrong until I make sure you block them. You can't add everybody.
No, in fact, we've got some backed up on Facebook now that's wanting to join.
Yeah.
That's why I was going to call
I think it's
Tyler.
up to 11.
That's why I was going to call you, Tyler, because I couldn't get in touch with you.
Well, my phone's always on. I don't know if you have my direct number, but I'll give it to you.
Text it to me because your grandmother scared me. And I was like, who am I going to call? I'm going to have to call Tyler to go get her because she won't answer me.
Listen, was I not gone somewhere or something? I can't remember why.
No, you was dizzy that night.
Remember, you were confused because you heard the phone ringing?
I went to sleep. Don't tell me you have never woke up from a nap and not realized what day it was, where you was.
Well, you had a big day. That was the first day we did the podcast.
Yeah, Tyler. And what she says to me is, I'm confused. I don't know. I'm just confused. And then she didn't talk to me anymore. I'm thinking, what do you mean she's confused? And I kept saying, Miss Jean, answer me, answer me. What's going on? Not talking to me. And it shows that she was on. And I am thinking all kinds of wild stuff. I ended up calling her on the phone. And she's like, I'm okay. Oh, lady.
She is damn sure the toughest lady in this family. She done almost outlived all her kids. She'll probably outlive me too.
She is a tough one.
Yes, she is.
If you call the house phone, she's going to stare at it but not answer it. Oh, Miss Jean, did you?
If I don't recognize the number, I don't, because I've already been sued about my student loans, and the IRS is already going to take me to jail.
Well, do you know? You have my number. You know it's me.
Yeah, and I gave a lot of bill collectors her number when I lived there, and I owe a bunch of money, so they call about my money too.
Oh, this is funny.
Oh, this is crazy.
The phone answer is the cell phone.
Well, Miss Jean, please don't send me a message and said you're confused and then not talk to me for a couple hours and I have to hunt you down.
Well, I'll try not to do that again, but as I said, I know people wake up confused.
And as I said, you don't tell me you're confused and then not talk to me, and I don't know what's wrong with you.
All right, I'll try to do better.
I appreciate that very much. Okay, does anyone have any questions, anything?
I just want to say, I think just like with the Mike Owens profile, there's probably a lot of information out here that would help this case that's laying out there on social media that we haven't found yet. If we just keep trying to turn rocks, we're going to find a lot of improprieties in the Glenn County Police Department, a lot of things that prove, not just think, but prove that they've done wrong in the past and are still doing wrong. And if we could just make evidence of this, and in the future, it would all come to help this case.
And other people.
Definitely.
And other people. Guys, case.
Yes, everybody they've done wrong. And I'm sure there's some pissed off people.
Thank you, Ducky. Please send me your number. See, Miss Jean, we got you. All right, everybody. Miss Jean and Tyler, I do have something to say to you guys. What y'all have been through. You all are a very strong family. Y'all have held together, held this up, fought for Guy, and you've done it by yourself. Besides family, I'm talking about legally. You've done this.
Well, I try to keep up with it because I know nobody else. I mean, I've been to all the hearings, like I said, except for one, and I had just had foot surgery then. But I know that I need to keep up with it because everybody else has not had the time nor the ability nor the finances to keep up with it.
Well, we're going to help you. We're keeping up with this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much.
We're doing everything we can. Yes.
From everything that you've told me just in the short time you've been working on this, I do think you have a God-given talent at snooping and looking through things. And in my brother's case, I feel like right now I'm just concerned about getting my brother out, whether that sounds selfish or not. But in the future, God has given us all a purpose, and this might be a platform to help others who have been wrongfully convicted. And this is just a start.
Yes, it is.
I plan to use this story one day to reach out to much other people who have gone through tragedy, who are struggling, who are fighting for their lives. This is just the beginning.
And who are lost in the system.
You are so right. Yes.
Lost in the system because of corruption. Well, we're going to do all we can. to make sure Guy's name gets out there. But I'm not going to say we're going to try. We're going to get Guy free. I have faith. I have all the faith in the world in Jody and Rhonda and you and Miss Jean. We're going to fight this. We're going to get him out. And I'm buying him that steak dinner.
Yep.
So might want to wait on that. He eats a lot.
Well, I told you. I'll save up. He gets that steak dinner.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Yes, he does. And we will be there when he is released, but he is getting out. 2020 is just the beginning. 2020
Definitely.
is his year. 2020 is going to be his year. Yes.
I pray that it is.
So if anyone has any, both boys can eat like nobody's business. Boy, I love when your family tells secrets about you and your grandmother. God, I believe it too. Thank you, guys. I'll help supply food. Oh, then we're all just going to go to Bridget's. Heck, she's going to supply the food.
Yeah, let's all have her
If go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. Much love. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I'm getting off of here. So you guys have a great day.
You too, Tyler.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end this because I'm tired of holding this court.
Okay. Well, we know what we got to do.
Yes, and Miss Jean, I will send you the things for the court records. Everyone else, thank you. Spread the word. Share Twitter, share whatever that other thing we got. What do we got?
Instagram. Instagram.
Instagram. The Facebook group.
I've put it all in the Facebook group, so you can find it through that. But join it, share the podcast, share everything.
Our social media director is Jody. If you need to contact her, please do, because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm public on Facebook, so you can find me through the group if you've got any questions about any of it.
I don't know anything
Anyone's
about
more than welcome.
That snappy thing. I don't know nothing about it.
Snappy thing.
Yeah, really.
No, anyone's more than welcome to message me anytime.
Snapchat. Yes, that's it.
Snapchat.
Why?
And Ducky said,
okay, Jody.
Mama, answer your phone when done.
Did you hear that, Miss Jean?
I do.
Okay.
Jody and Rhonda, thank you so much for all your help, all your dedication, all your research, and everything you do. Jody, thank you for not volunteering, but for me saying, Jody, you're in charge of that stuff. Whatever that stuff is.
You're welcome. And
social media.
That's Jody. She's in charge.
We'll just call it the social media.
Yes.
Stuff.
The social media stuff, contact Jody. And Miss Jean.
There you go.
If anyone's got any ideas that can help me with the social media stuff, that to get it out there more, please message me. I'm open to any ideas with any of it.
And Miss Jean. Miss Jean.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm going to call you probably later on today. You better answer your phone. I do not want to send the army out there to search for you. And I'll call Ducky if I have to.
In the morning time. Are you sure I have your number?
Well, you better, because you called me.
Yes, you did, right? But I'm not sure I can find it. But I'll look.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, Cindy will give it back to you.
If it is somebody that's talking to me ugly, I'm going to get you when I do talk to you.
Who's talking to you ugly?
Like I told you, lots of people. Like the IRS is putting me in jail. Student loans are suing me. I've never had a student loan. I'm getting so many scam calls.
It will take Ducky 8 hours to get there, but she can get there in 4. Miss Jean.
I know. She's a fantastic driver.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let everyone go. If you need anybody, I'm selling Rhonda and Jody. We want to make sure we have all the money we can when time comes. So they're up for sale. Contact me. They're going to be on the auction.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
And if there's something that comes up that you want research that we've overlooked, get in contact with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Any ideas for anything?
Social media is all Jody.
I like the way you keep saying that.
Somebody asked me about social media. Are we on this? Are we on that? I'm right here. That's where I'm at.
We might end up selling Cindy before it's over with.
Hey, I'm free. Miss Jean, don't you laugh. All right, guys, I'm going to do this. Share the thing because right now I have 106 followers that just joined today.
Wow.
On guys?
On this right here.
Oh.
They got
How many people are listening to the podcast? Does it say how many were on live?
No, it doesn't say who's on there. It does when I hang up. It goes when I close up, it will go to my dash that will tell me exactly how many were here, how many will listen. Because
okay, it'd be nice to post that in the group so everybody knows.
Total 163.
9 live total. Wow, that's brilliant.
What was the total on the first podcast, Cindy?
That was up to 900 and
yeah, this one down here where it says 9 live total 163. I don't want to sound stupid, but they were a lot of. So the real total.
A lot of them.
Yeah, the real total I have when I hang up, I have a dashboard, and it will say how many new followers, how many listened. It gives me a whole breakdown of everything because after 200 people, it's supposed to be charging, but I dropped it. It's like 1,000 people that listen to this. Some keep getting kicked off and had to rejoin. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I had to rejoin.
Yeah.
I got kicked off.
So.
Cindy, if you send me all the totals and then I'll pop them onto the Facebook group so everyone knows. I think it's nice. I think people like to see, how many we've got listening and right, let's get it up to this number. Let's get more people following, more people listening to the podcast. So
if I send you my Toto, I love her accent. I swear to God.
I will definitely ask how many was on the podcast.
Who will? Oh yeah. I will have the numbers. Give it about 45 minutes because we had the first one and this one, so it has to total up all these numbers. And then it will show up on my dashboard and I will let you know. So in about 45 minutes, I will give you a total of everything.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Miss
Okay,
Ryan.
thank
you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.